I'm fully aware that there is a sandwich in the background of this video. It's just going to be there the whole time. You just have to put up with it, I'm afraid. I've just realised that I can't be asked to stand up. Hello, and welcome back to Stop Hannah Time. So I've had a very busy weekend. I have been moving house. It's the first weekend of like 2. So next week is going to be the proper everything's in, job done one, hopefully. This weekend was putting all the furniture in, so I went to IKEA, bought a load of stuff, hired 2 men in a van to carry it all back to the place, and then I've been assembling some of it. So I've assembled a TV stand, which I'm quite proud of, because it's one of those ones that's got like the drawers that you can assemble and they end up being wonky if you're not careful, and I've managed to get it reasonably straight. So, you know, the drawers actually all open the same way and there's no like weird like clipping or anything. So I'm quite pleased about that. And yeah, so weekend 1 of 2 done. Internet's in as well. That's really good. I somehow managed to wrangle it. I thought like I'll try and get it so I can get the internet put in the day I get the keys. And do like the thing with the woman where they go around and they do the inventory where they check everything. And so that took an hour, and then the internet slot was between 1 and 6, and I thought, oh, this is going to be really awkward. One of my friends very kindly said that they'd sit in the flat whilst we all went to IKEA, and the guy turned up at 1:10, which was 50 minutes ahead of when we were going to go to IKEA. So my friend got to come to IKEA as well. So if you're watching this, all friends who helped with moving, thank you very much. And thank you in advance if you're helping some more. Good, right. What else is done? Advent is done. It's completely done. So, yeah, there's no boxes. Everything's gone. Apart from down there is Christmas stuff that I need to process. A picture that I'm going to reframe, which was the one with the broken glass. I'm going to get it reframed just so it's slightly safer. And then also that's a box of like a care package I'm sending to Nalzi of stuff. So yeah, my office is tidy. I can go all the way back here without hitting boxes of varying things like knives and saucepans and then owls, lots of owls. So that's really good. I'm really happy. I think it came to about, in the end, I would be quite confident saying at least 400 letters were written back to you guys. Maybe 450. That's a lot of letters. I'm going to have to rethink how we do it this year, because I can't keep doing that if it's going to exponentially grow every year, which is what it looks like it's doing. So I'll have to think about how we do it this year. Maybe we revamp it a tiny bit. I don't know. Also, before I forget, there is an art contest going on at the subreddit. So my subreddit, Yogscast Hannah. It should be in the video description. It's a art competition to come up with like a coat of arms for the Reddit. So don't just stick owls on it, for God's sake. Have some inspiration and do something else. But you know, if you're a bit arty or you just want to have a giggle, go and have a go. There's also a live stream mega thread on there every week. So after the live stream, if you want, go and have a check of that. We're slowly getting the icons made for my Twitch channel. We've got Wonky Owl, which is inspired by this drawing. And I thought this is really good. So we can use that as like the it's all gone to shit icon. Because we're going to have that a lot on the stream. The live stream this week is going to be This War of Mine, because it's come second runner-up on the voting thing 2 weeks in a row, and everyone really wants to find out what's happened with everyone and things. So we'll do another stream of that. I think it's a very good game for streaming, because there are some like moral choices that I kind of like to have taken off of my hands, but it's not so many choices that the straw polls just get ridiculous. So I think it's a really nice one to have, and it's relaxed enough as well in some parts that I can still read the chat without going like, oh yeah. If you like This War of Mine, then I will see you between 4 and 6 p.m. UK time on Wednesday. On what's my channel? What's my channel? Oh, it's Yogscast on Twitch. I forgot what it was. I'm so used to just going Yogscast, but it's not. It will be hosted again on Yogscast, I think, so you can watch it there. But if you want to get involved in the chat, you should come over to Yogscast, because then I'll be able to see you. Good. I'm doing this a lot today. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like, I think my brain is still slightly in shock from assembling furniture all weekend. So in terms of content, we've got maybe 1 or 2 more episodes of the Forest with Hat films. I've got to edit it, so I'm not quite sure yet. But if you'd like to see more, the best way to let us know is to comment on the videos and thumbs them up. It's just really easy then, because it's all collected into one place, like the feedback. If you want to leave specific feedback, you can definitely do that on the subreddit. It's a better place because it does allow you more characters, and also doesn't get lost in the terribleness that is YouTube comments. But if you literally just want to say more please, then you can easily do it on the video, and I can see it all there, and it's great. So if you want to see more of that, get on that and let me know. If you would like more of Sips as well, I can certainly think about that. He's also moving house at the moment as well, but we can always try and do that a little bit later on. And I have got the save somewhere. Whether it will let me put it back into the game without it dying, I don't know, but we'll definitely give it a go if you guys want to see more. Life is Strange, I think, is coming out tomorrow. I hopefully will have a video for you tomorrow of it. It all depends on when the codes get sent over and when they go live. I've also got Cornerstone that day, tomorrow, so it's all about whether I can wrangle the recording around the Cornerstone, but in theory I should be fine. It might be it comes out a little bit late. Don't know, we'll see. But Life is Strange should be there, yes. And I think Kim is going to do it as well, so we're probably going to continue doing the my I don't give a fuck playthrough, and Kim's I'm going to take this slightly more seriously sort of playthrough. Like, she's doing it, she's properly like role-playing it of like, you know, I'm a kid at school who's had a tough time, I'm shy and all this, and I'm just going, I don't care, I'm rewinding time, and I'm molting again everywhere. I keep doing this, you can't even see it. There you go, there's a hair. Why am I molting again? Oh, it's this, I'm coming up to the summer. I'm shedding my summer, preparing for my summer coat. The Hannah is shedding her winter skin coat, hair. It's everywhere, so much hair. Look at this. Doesn't even look like a lot because I've blow dried it flat, but it's gonna be a mess. Also, in terms of other episodic stuff, I think the Game of Thrones trailer is out today for episode 3, which usually means the week after, so probably next Tuesday. If not, it will definitely be the Tuesday after that, but I think they said they were going to get it out end of March, which is pushing it a little bit next Tuesday, because that'll be the 31st of March. So it could be either, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very Daenerys orientated episode. I haven't really looked into the trailer, I haven't looked into what they've been saying, but I know they have been saying different things about her and about her dragons, so it would make sense that it's a little more focused in the Astapor Yunkai sort of area, especially considering season 5, which is coming in April. Oh my god, I'm excited. The trailer, I don't know why I looked at the trailer today, and I've read the books, although he says apparently people are going to die who aren't in the books, but it's probably going to be side characters who disappear in the books, because if he kills, you know, big characters, there could be problems, like genuine problems. I mean, we sort of managed to get away with it with the first of the big character ones in season 1, because he'd already written it ages ago before the TV thing, but if he starts changing it up, he's going to possibly make all the book fans rage and all the TV fans rage. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens anyway. So excitement there. And then also, what else is going on? Far Cry 4 Yeti DLC. I'm still umming and ahhing about it. It's more of the same, basically. It seems like there's a bit of a grind to get to the Yeti, and I just haven't had time to do all the side stuff because of moving house. So I'm debating about it, but I'm not sure. It might be that we just do it as a live stream or something, and later on, I don't know. And the final thing as well, which is probably not the thing I should have ended the content section on, but I should have said it at the start so that we had more positive stuff at the end. But I've just lost the plot today, so it's in this order. There's no other video tonight, it's just this, just because I've been busy. But you can go and see Owl/Cat Island over on Nazi's channel, which is there every Monday anyway, so technically you get 3 videos of content sometimes from me on a Monday, which is quite a lot. So go and watch that. Make sure you watch it. If you haven't seen them all, go and catch up, because the playlist will always be in the description. And yeah, like, go and have a look, because we're doing some cool stuff. I'm going to make burritos at some point. That's what I want to do. I found burritos in the recipes, so that'll be good, I think. I think I'm doing burritos. We've had a patch, so it might be that the burritos are now gone, but if they're not gone, then I will be very, very pleased, because I want to make them. Here's one from, I think it's Shixie? I don't know, sorry. Who says, can you please help me? I look up to you. Maybe you can give me some advice. I am dealing with social anxiety and I find it hard to be in a public place with my peers. I am 13 years old. They like to go out clubbing. 13? We didn't go out clubbing at 13, I don't think. I think we stayed in and watched The Matrix. And was The Matrix even out when we were 13? No, I don't know. I don't know anymore. But I'm a very quiet person. I always feel judged because I don't share that hobby. I constantly find myself thinking about it. Please help, what should I do? I don't really like clubbing either. Let's just put that out there. I like it if I'm with a group of friends I'm comfortable with and I'm maybe a little bit tipsy and they're playing songs I like. But I wouldn't just go to any club. It has to be a specific night, so like 90s music is great. And also being a little bit tipsy does help with the sort of like, I feel a little bit self-conscious, I'm in a dress, I'm trying to look nice, and then I'm also supposed to dance. And I could be dancing awfully, and it's so, in a way, your mind is your worst enemy when it comes to situations like this. Now, I'm not saying get drunk and go. That's definitely not the thing you should be doing, especially at the age of 13. I'm not sure how they manage to go out clubbing. I assume it's like an underage club where they don't serve alcohol, because I know those do exist. But that doesn't mean you have to go. And it sounds here that whilst, yes, okay, you may have social anxiety, it sounds like a lot of the influence as well here is possibly peer pressure. I mean, you even say peers. And especially at that age, teenagers can be pretty cruel about things with peer pressure, and they don't necessarily think it through, and they go, oh, it's not cool, or, oh yeah, come out, come out, versus what we've sort of got a little bit more of now as we're older, is that I'm not feeling up to this, or that's not my thing. So, for example, with us, whilst we occasionally do go out clubbing, or we go to pubs and have drinks, a lot of the time we have people over and we play board games with them. For you, maybe the best thing would be to find maybe a group of friends that shares a similar sort of hobby that's quite quiet, if that makes sense. Like, board games don't have to be quiet, but they take the focus off of you. And I think the problem with clubbing maybe is a little bit, it's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And if you're not comfortable with yourself, then that can become a very like, don't look at me, and oh, the music, and oh, it's dark and I don't really like this sort of environment instead. And I would say perhaps speak to your friends and say, look, genuinely, this is not a thing I'd like to do. I'd love to hang out with you guys, but is there something else we can do that isn't clubbing that I can join in on? Or alternatively, if they want to be massive dicks about it, have another circle of friends if you can. I mean, obviously it's very hard if you have social anxiety to be forthcoming and so forth, but there may be a common hobby that you could potentially do, especially a quiet hobby. An example might be art classes, evening art classes, or perhaps yoga or something like that, or exercise. There are various things you can do that don't involve talking to people, that just involve you potentially being in a room with other people, and that potentially may help with other stuff. I don't know. I mean, as well, it's probably worth saying that maybe Zoe would be a really good person to ask about this if you can, grab her on like Tumblr, because she does struggle with, or she has struggled in the past with social anxiety, and she's come on in leaps and bounds. She'll happily come and see us, which is great. She originally didn't. It was I have to meet a group of people, which is terrifying. Like, even if you don't have social anxiety, going, I'm going to go to an office for like 20 people I've never actually technically met. And some of those, like Hat Films, are very much like, oh, in your face. So, I think just explore ways that you can be yourself. Maybe try and see if you can get them involved. Definitely have a chat with them and say, look, this is not that I hate you guys, not that it's just not my thing. I would love to do something else with you guys. that we can do a day when you're not clubbing that is more my thing. And in theory, you should be able to find a middle ground, something that you can enjoy doing and they can enjoy doing, and you can all have fun. Or alternative, again, try and find maybe some classes or things like that. I mean, that's why the internet's worked quite well for so many people with social anxiety, is because you don't have to meet people face to face. And in a way that can be somewhat disabling as well, because then you get into the habit of never meeting people face to face. But it also really does help establish friendship groups, which is why I said about Zoe. Zoe's like a fantastic example of the good that can happen with meeting people over the internet. So I think, yeah, just keep on. And if it's really bad, of course, talk to a professional. Don't just struggle on in silence. Talk to your family as well. And yeah, just don't take it one day at a time, and don't let yourself be guilt tripped if they're going to be assholes about it, because in 10 years they'll suddenly go, God, we were such jerks to that person. And that's probably all they'll ever think. They may apologise, but don't get hung up on it, really, seriously, because it's your life and you should live it how you want to do. So yeah, I hope you find some sort of solution. But yeah, don't feel upset about it. Cerulean Jim says, Ed, you're digging up a very big grave here, but as a fellow Tomb Raider fan, do you ever wonder what happened after the Angel of Darkness? I assume you mean plot-wise, because you say, are you as content as I am to leave that horrible game in the past where it belongs? It's like Superman 4. Is it Superman 4? Is it Star Trek 5? So there's Superman 4, and then there's the Star Trek one where they save the whales, and it's like those don't exist in the minds of some fans of that franchise. I kind of would have liked to have known what the plotline was they were running with, because of what the hell happened in it. There were some elements of like the darkness and stuff which potentially could have been good, but it was so clanky and they gave us such a weird gothic makeover and all this stuff. I'm kind of glad that nothing happened with it. And then the follow-up to that question is, do you prefer the core games or the Square Enix Crystal games? Well, I really like the most recent one, and I like what I've seen of the one that's coming. I really do. I like what they've said about making the tombs harder, about the wilderness. It looks like it's going very much back to the environments we saw in the first one. So I'm very excited for that. And I like Camilla Luddington. I love her in Grey's Anatomy. And I'm glad that they've kept her on. I think she's a really good Lara. She's, a much more realistic version of her than the ones we've seen in the past when it was more about the boobs and the really cheesy, sassy lines. I don't know. I think if you ask me again after the one that's coming out, I might have a better answer. I'm sort of siding on the Square Enix side just because Rhianna Pratchett's writing, Camilla Luddington is acting and all this stuff, and cause like an old era, but I don't know. But yeah, so I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see with that. But thank you very much for asking about Angel of Darkness. Mutsaki has asked a very important question, which is, if we were able to, do you think we should pull a Jurassic Park and revive dinosaurs? That's actually really fitting because of what's going on in Druids and what Halsey and I might do in Cat Island, because if you're given a mod where you can make dinosaurs, who isn't going to make bloody dinosaurs? And I think this is the problem. We as human beings like curiosity and poking things, possibly when we shouldn't. I think if we were able to, people would anyway. But you'd hope they'd learn from Jurassic Park and not have it on some sort of island where you can have some sort of really bad storm and all the power goes out, and then you also don't have any backup on that fucking computer, which they get locked out of, and just other stuff. I don't think I don't know as well, because obviously you don't want to do a Lewis and Shin and go, let's make the biggest dinosaur in history so it can kill us when it gets big enough to break out of Stonehenge. I think we should be doing it for those. I mean, for example, orangutans have become incredibly endangered because we are killing the rainforests for palm oil, which goes into most fast food or most snacks. So if you're American, I think not so much over here, but it does happen if you're American, Australian, or you buy stuff that is made in America or wherever, you should check the ingredients on the back, because if you can see palm oil there, 9 times out of 10 that has come from a rainforest that has been cut down to make these palm oil groves, effectively, where you grow palm trees and harvest them, and it is cutting down environments and ecosystems for wildlife. So I think we should use technology instead of doing silly shit like bring back stuff that we've killed. Oliver Maynard says, seeing as I have a newfound love for them, what's the one thing you really look for in a horror game? I'd probably say something different. I think this sort of applies to films as well. So for example, Paranormal Activity, when it first came out, was a great film. I managed to see it because originally it was shown at a film festival and then it was all over the internet before it got publicly released everywhere, because someone went, oh, actually this might be a good film. So I saw it back then. I saw it with the original ending, and not the one that I think went on the end of the film. I'm not quite sure. And because there's 2 endings. And so I liked that at the time because it did stuff a bit differently. It wasn't predictable. There were certain things like in the middle of the night when the camera slowed down, it didn't always do something. The ghost didn't always, whatever the hell it is, demon, ghost, whatever, just in case someone hasn't seen all of them yet, it didn't always do something. And then when it did something, sometimes it wasn't a predictable thing it did. There are all these, hauntings and all this stuff out there. The films already exist. But this one did something slightly different. It sort of created expectations and then it went, actually no, these don't work. And you can see this as well in Insidious, which is by both the Paranormal Activity guys and Saw guys, and you can see elements of both in it. And the ending's a bit shit and the sequel's not brilliant, but there were moments in that like, oh, you know that daylight is a conventionally safe place in horror films? Oh no, it's not. And it was stuff like that. It was just like, oh, actually, you remember your expectation or the stereotype that film and games have forced you to assume is the thing in these games and films. No, it's not. We're turning that all on its head. Random stuff's going to happen, and that's the stuff I look for in horror games and films. I want to be surprised. I don't want to think this is going to happen now, and then 10 seconds later that did happen now. And that's what I like in both. For example, there's a very good, I think it was filmed in Brazil, I can't remember, Apartment 143. It's on Netflix, or it used to be on Netflix, and it is effectively Paranormal Activity, but they've done certain things very differently, and because of that, I like it as much as Paranormal Activity, even though it's exactly the same thing of something coming into a home and specifically focusing on a female person in the house. It's done in a slightly different way, and I quite like that. Outlast was a great game because whilst it did do the stereotype of mental institution, etc., there were elements in that of, oh, actually, this is different. And the camera thing, whilst being overdone in certain ones, if it's done well, it can work really well. So yeah, I think that's what I look for in horror games and films. But bear in mind that I have grown up with them. I have thoroughly enjoyed the horror genre in both, and also in novels for years, like since I was a teen, mid young teen, I'm not quite sure, Stephen King and things like that. So for me, getting surprised by unconventional stuff is a lot harder nowadays, which means that when I do find stuff like that, I do stop and go, oh. And even if the whole thing isn't good, if there's 1 or 2 ideas, I think that's something that should be commended and should possibly be worked on and encouraged. So yeah, that's probably it. Anyway, so that's the end of the questions for today. Thank you very much for submitting again. Please do continue to leave questions in the video description below. Don't forget to go and watch the Cat Island over on Nazi's channel tonight. Also check out the subreddit for the competition, the art competition, and also for the livestream mega thread, which you will need for Wednesday. And I will see you guys then. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.